This is a level 1 noob, and in today's video I'm going to be using the reworked dragon fruit to take him from level 1 all the way to max level. Alright, so first things first, we need to buy the fruit. So let's open the shop right quick, and it should be all the way at the bottom. 5,000 Robux. So I'm just going to gift it to myself right quick, and boom, there it is. So now we can equip it, and we get to choose which dragon we want. I don't think this matters right now, and we can switch it later anyway, so I'm going to just go with the Western, because it looks cooler. Also, there's no way I'm not doing this without 24 hours of double XP. And here it is, 24 hours of double XP, redeemed. Now we can finally get to grinding. Alright, let's check out these M1s. Woo! Yeah, this is already broken. This is already broken. I'm not even transformed. Alright, let's try the Z-move Heatwave Cannon. What just happened? Let me try that one more time. Yeah, that's more like it. Bro, they're literally dying in like 4 swipes. But we are level 10 now, so we can go to the jungle. Bro, leave me alone. I'm just a noob. Yeah, you can't even kill me. I'm too low of a level. Just you wait till I'm max level. Alright, let's get these monkeys first. Any M1 that pushes you forward like this, I like. Like Kitsune, T-Rex. Can I hit him from here? Oh my gosh. Yes, I can. Last quest of the island and our first boss, the Gorilla King. Yeah, this guy's gonna die, no problem. He can't even get close enough to attack. Easy. Next island. Defeat 8 pirates. On to Buggy, our next boss. That Chop Fruit's not gonna save you against these claws, boy. Already got him low. Yeah, he's done. He's done. He didn't even get an attack off. Alright, last one before we make our way over to the desert. There we go. All parked up. Pick up this first quest, these bandits. Honestly, I think we could get the first sea done in like 4 hours. At least that's what I'm aiming for. Alright, level 90. Now we can go to the snow island. And here. We could go ahead and pick up Flash Step right now. Boom. And air jump. For 10k. Well, let's get these quests started. Snow bandits. We're about to be level 100. There it is. We still got a long ways to go, but we can go ahead and get this Yeti out the way. Bro, he's not even fully loaded in. I'm fighting like boxes. Piece of cake, box man. Piece of cake. And now we can go. But before we go, we're gonna pick up Hockey. Teleport back, and we're here. We can go ahead and get this boss out the way. And this is my favorite boss to fight because he just gives you so many levels. You're gonna see, watch. Get him in this corner. Holy, I forgot about that. You're done. Just look at these levels. Now that we're over level 150, we could go to the Skylands, but it's better to just keep farming the Admiral. Ooh, he just dropped a coat. Alright, now that we're 201, we can head over to the prison. And I did unlock a new mastery move called Draconic Soar. That lets us fly, and you can also damage enemies with it, like this. This is so much better than sailing. But we're here. Gonna go ahead and start this quest up. High enough for the next quest. 222, we can start getting these bosses out the way. First one is the Warden. This is a super easy boss. I don't even think he has any ranged attacks. Boom. Light work. Next, Chief Warden. And now we can fight the last boss of this island, Swan. This is like the first real hard boss in the game. But he's nothing for this dragon fruit. And just like the Admiral, we're gonna keep farming him up because he drops a lot of levels. Alright, last boss before we leave. And there we go. Now we can go to Magma Village. Coming in hot. Military soldiers. Next quest. Now I do know this is when the NPCs start using Flash Step. On our way to fight the boss of this island. We're gonna fly in the volcano for the aura points. I knocked him into me and he punched me. There we go. I did just unlock a new mastery move called Infernal Pincer. So we're gonna try it out on this boss right here. Oh my goodness. I'll show you one more time. Dang, right into the ocean, bro. That is super cool. I'm stuck in the wall. But we are high enough to go to the underwater city now. Here we are at the whirlpool. Just a couple more islands left before we're done with the first sea. Fishman Commandos. We're finally high enough to take on Horty Jones. Come here, boy. There we go. We could go to the Skylands, but it's better to just keep farming this boss up until 475. Alright, this should be the last boss before Sky Island. And there we go. But before I do that, I want to go ahead and finish the Shanks quest. That way we can pick up observation hockey on Sky Island. So all we need to do is go to the jungle and hit these 5 little pressure pads. And last one. Now we can go in here, pick up this torch, and go back on over to the desert. Once here, we go in the slanted door, burn the wall down, and get this cup. Now we fly on over to the ice place, go in the cave, and fill it up with water. Once it's filled, we can go ahead and give it to the sick man in here. And now he wants us to go over to Pirate Village. Once here, we can go ahead and talk to this guy. He wants us to go to that little island over there and beat some guy up. Man, this fly is so clutch. Gonna be super light work. Yep, just go talk to him again, and he'll give us the ancient relic. Now we can finally go back to the jungle and fight Shanks. He should also be a piece of cake because we are a tad bit over leveled, and he's not even here. No worries though, we could just switch servers. Piece him up right quick. Easy. Alright, now let's go to Sky Island. Just drop in. So up here we gotta defeat 9 Shandas. And we can go ahead and take on this Weisper. One thing I am going to do really quickly is get the black cape. Just so we can get some extra damage. Gives us 5% extra damage. Next quest, Royal Squads. Last one. And on to the soldiers. Alright, we're high enough to take on Enel. But before I do that, I do want to buy observation hockey. So talk to Usopp right quick, and it's going to be 750,000. Boom. Now we can take him on. Yeah, that's what I was scared of. Get out of here. And we're going to keep farming him up until 625. Should be dead soon. Now we can go to our last island of the first sea. Finally here. Let's go ahead and start this quest. 8 galley pirates. Galley captains now. Now we can take on the last boss, Cyborg. I know this guy is actually kind of a hard boss. Like, I always get farted on and die. But here we go. Just hit him through the house. No! Okay, I found the spot. No, do not come around the corner. He's won. Boom. Just gotta do that till we're level 700, and then we can finally leave after defeating Aokiji, of course. Ooh, we did just get the cool shades, and that's actually gonna give us a better damage increase. But this is the last Frankie we have to beat. For the last hit, toss him in the ocean. Level 700. Let's get out of here and go to the second sea. And as we know, first things first, we gotta go to the prison, talk to this guy. He'll give us the key and tell us to go to Ice Island. And here we can fight the Ice Admiral. Through this door, there he is. No way. All right, we got him half health. Bro, but not this time. I can feel it. Pick him up, throw him, hit him with the Z move. It's one shot. And there we go. Gotta talk to him one more time. Go to Middletown, talk to the experienced captain, and get out of here. I can take you to the second sea. Would you like to go? Yes. And there we have it. Second sea acquired. We still have a lot more levels, so let's just get straight to it. First up, Raiders. Mercenaries. We just hit Mastery 250, so we got a new move called Scorching Downfall. So let's try it out right here. Okay, let me try holding it on these guys right here. Oh yeah, that's gonna be really good for grinding. Just 100 more before we get the evolution. I am high enough to take on Diamond, but I'm gonna skip out on him because he's all the way over there. And most of the time, he's already dead. We can go ahead to this area and take on these next quests. Onto the factory staff. Alright, now that we're over level 850, we can do this Bartillo quest. So all we have to do is go in the cafe and talk to him, and he wants us to defeat 50 swan pirates, which are these guys right here. Alright, last one coming up. Watch the levels pour in. Look at that. This quest gives you so much XP. But anyways, we can go ahead and talk to Bartillo again. And now he'll want us to go defeat Jeremy, who is at the top of this mountain. Dude, if I did not have this sword, it would make this challenge a lot longer. But here he is. And this boss is actually kind of hard. Like, I usually die to him a couple times. He's one shot. There we go. Now we just talked to Bartillo one last time. And he wants us to go to the Coliseum and free the gladiators. Down in here, we just got to put in the right code. There we go. Got the warrior helmet. Now we'll be able to get race V2 when we go to the other island. Well, let's go ahead and go to the green zone now. We can pick up this first quest. Marine Lieutenants. Just hit max level Blox Fruit. Alright, now that we're level 900, we can finally get race V2. So all we have to do is talk to this guy right here, and he wants us to find 3 different flowers. I already know where one of them is because I spotted it earlier. It's right here. Now I just need the blue and yellow one.
82 kilometers later.
Found it, right here on Graveyard Island. And the yellow one you get just by defeating enemies. So we're gonna continue these quests, but hopefully I don't die. Oh, and I just got it. So now we can go back to this NPC and pay him 500k, and now we're race V2. We can dash better, and we got an extra dodge, and he increased our flash step. Let's take on Fajita now. And I'm not gonna lie, this is another one of those bosses that I just keep dying to. Like, those asteroids he sends down are really tough. This is nothing compared to the dragon fruit. Oh my god. Yeah, absolutely smoked. Did end up getting Gravity Blade, but now we go to Graveyard Island. Alright, let's pick up this zombie quest. And the vampires. Almost level 1000. And we should get it after this. There it is. Our first 1000 levels. Still got 1600 more left. But actually, now that we're level 1000, we can go ahead and try to get race V3. First thing we have to do is get a fruit good enough for Don Swan. So let's roll right quick. And ooh, spider fruit. That's actually really good. You know what? This pains me to do, but I'm gonna give it up. Here we go. Boom. Now we just gotta pack Don Swan up. Holy crap. Okay. Third time's the charm. There we go. Secret NPC unlocked. Now we just have to come around here, right here, talk to him, and he wants us to defeat Jeremy, Fajita, and Diamond. Dead. Ooh, he did drop the black spiky coat. That's actually going to be a little better for us. Hold on, is someone fighting him? And they're not here. All right, we'll just come back around for that. In the meantime, we'll go do our actual quests. Snow Troopers. And here he is. Now we can talk to the NPC again. And for 2 million, we can get Race V3 and a new move called Last Resort. That makes us do more damage the lower health we are. But yeah, on to the next quest, which will be Winter Warriors. Guys, the long-awaited transformation is almost here. Just one more mastery level, one more enemy. Boom. There it is, Mastery 350. Now we aren't Max Fury, which means if we use the evolution, this is what happens. Boom, that's stage 1. There's a second stage after this. But as you can see, I do way more damage. Basically, all my stats get buffed. What we really came here to see is the final transformation. Holy crap. We are massive right now. We are absolutely massive. I can't even hit the enemies, they're so small. Try out the movesets. Okay, that was Z and X. Let's try our C move. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's so good for grinding. And the last one, our F. Yeah. This is amazing. Oh yeah, and when we activate Hockey, we get all this armor that looks even cooler. I'm not gonna lie, it is kind of hard to hit the M1. Obviously, we can fly around too. Now that was the Western Dragon. I want to try the Eastern Dragon now. All right, here it is. Holy crap. We just got even bigger. You see this M1. And the Z move, pretty much the same. Let's try out the X move. Let me try holding the C. Probably the best move. Oh yeah. That just killed like every NPC. I'm not gonna lie, that just killed like every NPC. Last one, the F. Okay, so we just spin around like this. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, it's so hard to operate this, I might just use the first transformation form. Don't get me wrong, the other ones are great, but I can't even hit the enemies, they're so small. Next island, hot and cold. Let's get our first quest started. Horned Warriors. Let's take on Smoker. Absolutely light work. I took him out of the building. Already dead. We are high enough now to take on the fire side, and the first quest is going to be 8 magma ninjas. Level 1200, onto the lava pirates. Last enemy before we can leave. Yes, now we go to the ship. And here we are. There's a lot of quests in this ship, so let's get straight to it. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, my finger hurts from all the clicking. Let's go downstairs and get these engineers now. It's a good thing this character glows, because every time it's nighttime at the ship, I can barely see. Bro, it's so dark down here. Time for the second NPC. And finally, we can do our last quest of the ship. Let's get out of here finally. Ice Castle. Snow Lurkers. Honestly, not too many people have tried to attack me so far. I don't know if it's because I have the dragon fruit or what. Now we're high enough to get our revenge on Aokiji. Let me see if I can attack him with the dragon. Oh my gosh. Look how we pulled up. I can't even see. Alright, he should be dead after this. We'll just keep farming him up until our last island. Just finished the last one. Now we can go to our last island. Here we are. And it looks like they added horns to the skull. But anyways, let's get these sea soldiers. Bro, chill, bro. I'm trying to be your friend. Bro, he literally has the same cape on too. Let's just move on to these water fighters. All right, we're high enough to take on our last quest boss, the Tidekeeper. Come here, boy. And we got his trident. Last boss. Should finish him off right here. Throw him in the sea where he belongs. Okay, he should be dead. Done. Now we can finally leave the second sea. Since we already defeated Don Swan earlier, all we have to do is go to the Colosseum, talk to this guy right here, and he wants us to go defeat Rip Indra. Here we go. This will be a piece of cake. Honestly, he's easier than the Tidekeeper. Already got him half. Powering up. Okay, we did it. Bro, I think they changed this animation. I swear before it was different and like way louder. Talk to Mr. Captain at the green zone. Here we are. I can take you to the third sea. Would you like to go? Yes. Boom. Second sea done. On to our last and final sea. And actually, they changed this map since last time. This looks way better. But yeah, there's no more secret quests or anything. All this sea is just straight grinding. Start up our first quest. Okay, someone's trying to fight me. What's going on? Come here, bro. You're lucky I don't have max fury. You got me when I was weak. Now for the pistol billionaires. Let's take on Stone. On our way to Amazon Island. And here we are. Start this quest. Level 1600, we can move on to the archers. But I actually don't know where they are because they changed this island. They're all the way up here. We're high enough to go inside now. They did change the inside too. Wait, these are new. It used to be like giant ladies or something. I think this is them right here. We can finally move on to the Hydra leader. All right, Boa, come get this work. Should do it. There we go. Wait, I just had like a nauseous effect. That was kind of cool. Hold on, is this even Boa anymore? I don't think it is. And go to the Great Tree. Let's get it started. Rear Admirals. Let's take on the boss now, the Kilo Admiral. Just finished the last boss. Now we're on the way to Turtle Island. Here, first quest, Fishman Raiders. And max defense acquired. Now let's take on these captains. I do love these two quests because the enemies are right next to the quest giver. Last one, and great. Now we can go to the next section. Bro, what are you doing? You want to fight? I'll give you a fight, bro. Where'd he go? Nah, don't run now. Don't run from me, boy. Got him. But actually, we can pick up the secret quest right here. And he wants us to defeat 50 of those forest pirates. This one gives us way more XP.
6.5 hours later.
Finally. I think next he wants us to defeat Elephant. He's always dead. So we'll probably get that later. It's a good thing I have the fly. I know I've said that like 3 times. Alright, Elephant spawned in, so we're gonna pack him up right quick. Let's go to the last section of the island. Quest Giver 3. Let's get these musketeer pirates. And we're not gonna fight Cavendish because half the time he's not even there. Alright, just finished our last enemy. We can finally leave this island. And I'm actually excited for this island because here we can pick up the sun hat, I think. And I'm not gonna lie, we need that because the enemies are starting to have a lot of health. Reborn skeletons. Alright, we have enough bones. Let's see if we can get the sun hat. We only really get one chance at this because it's every 2 hours, but...
No.
Alright, we can go inside and do the next 2 quests. Alright, let's go downstairs and do our last quest of the island. Finally, we can leave this island. The next one's gonna be the Sea of Treats. And we've arrived. Peanut Scouts. Let's get these peanut presidents now. Just finished my last quest here. We can go over to this island now. And the first quest is gonna be Ice Cream Chefs. 2151, we can move on to the commanders around the back. I found a new method with the dragon fruit. All you do is just spam this C move and it gets like the entire island. Let's take on the cake queen. All right, big mom, gonna pack you up. We're actually getting kind of low. We got her low, but we're also low. No. No! And 1 health. There we go. Alright, just did our last quest. We can go to the next island of this sea. This one right here. Let's move on to the cake guards. Now we'll go to the other quest giver and start it up with the baking staff. Head bakers. $2,300, we can go to the next island. Only 300 more levels to go before we're done with this challenge. Cocoa Warriors. I'm not gonna lie, these enemies are starting to have a lot of health. It takes me like 2.5 full combos just to kill them. Next quest. Now let's go to the next section and get these sweet thieves. And the candy rebels. We can go to our last island of the Sea of Treats, Candy Pirates. Next quest. Finally, we are now onto our last island, and that's gonna be Tiki Outpost. But before I do that, I want to spin back around to the Graveyard Island and see if I can get the Sun Hat again. Alright, come on, Sun Hat, please. Yeah, I got some bones. No. Wait, what? Oh, I'm dumb. It's 10 times every 2 hours. I thought it was once every 2 hours.
Bruh.
Okay, stop giving me fragments though, for real. We got 3 more spins. Yes! Yes, that's gonna give us a 10% damage increase to our Blox Fruit. I swear they changed it though, like I don't remember seeing that every 2 hours thing before. Alright, we're here. Let's put on this hat and see the increase. That's actually like so much better, like I'm not gonna lie. That's actually so much better. I could have done this challenge way faster. Island boys. Just 100 levels to go. Other side of the island, sun-kissed warriors. Isle champions. There's no way the love fruit is just here. That's actually kind of crazy. Just 2 more quests. And these are the new ones that they added. 8 serpent hunters. Last quest, Skull Slayers. Our last 2 enemies right here. And boom! There we go. Noob to Pro Dragon Fruit finished. And here's the stats if you want to see them. But yeah, challenge done. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe. And let me know what video you want me to do next. Peace.